Welcome back. You know what? Welcome back. Dealing with trans issue topics, trans topics. I forgot to put in pronouns. Let me change this title. So, what do y'all think about pronouns? If somebody asks you, well, what are your pronouns? Mine is her and she. Because I do believe there's only two sexes, male and female. That's biology, that's science. Now, how you identify is something totally different. Two genders, but however you identify is your business as far as I'm concerned. I could care less. We got too much going on to be worrying about these issues, but they are important to some people. So I found these articles and they are very interesting. And this is all outside of the United States. So I just wanted to talk about it. Something different. Yep, then I'm going to do Jay-Z. I think that'll be it for tonight. So, teacher embroiled in trans role who was jailed after refusing to call a boy a girl is released from prison. If somebody don't want to use the pronoun, should they go to jail? Teacher was banned for misgendering a pupil. Now, some of the trainees look real good. They're very pretty, and some is ugly as hell. I'm just saying. Sometimes you get confused. You don't know what's a boy and what's a girl. That's a fact. So she was put in jail. She was released from prison. Irish teacher Enoch Burke has been released from prison after a judge ruled that his imprisonment for contempt of court was proven ineffective. A teacher who was jailed after being embroiled in a trans role after refusing to call a boy a girl has been released from prison. Irish teacher Enoch Burke has been released after a judge ruled that his imprisonment for contempt of court was proven ineffective. Justice David Nolan has instead imposed a daily fine of €1,400 on Burke for defying court orders to stay away from Wilson Hospital School in County Westmeath. Burke, who had been jailed for the third time in September over a transgender role, was freed after the judge determined the imprisonment did not have the corrective effort desired. Really? This is the man. This is the teacher. This is Enoch Burke. The evangelical Christian teacher had been imprisoned for breaching a high court injunction banning him from the school grounds. Burke's last imprisonment marked his third time behind bars, having spent a total of 512 days in prison since September 2022. His first jail term lasted 100 days before his release, followed by a second period of imprisonment during which he spent Christmas 2023 in custody until June this year. A previous 700 euros daily fine imposed on Burke proved ineffective as he never paid the penalties. The school's lawyers had expressed concerns about the lack of mechanisms to collect the unpaid fines from Burke. He not gonna pay it. Despite his dismissal, Burke was reportedly still receiving his salary as of February, having been paid approximately 72,000 euros while on administrative leave. During a chaotic hearing, Burke repeatedly talked over Justice David Nolan, who urged him to use the Christmas period to reflect on his fruitless campaign. The judge criticized Burke for making misguided and ridiculous arguments in his defense when appearing in court. Justice Nolan stated that Burke's talents as a teacher was being entirely wasted for not using pro, um, pronouns. Excuse me. When asked if he intended to return to the Westminster School, Burke refused to give a clear yes or no. As the order was passed, Burke told the court, "You will answer to God for imprisoning me for my religious beliefs." Burke became embroiled in a controversy May 2022 when he informed his head teacher that he is opposed to transgenderism due to his religious belief. He refused to address a transitioning student by their name and they pronouns, publicly criticizing the school request to do so. The teacher was subsequently sacked from Wilson's. Oh, sorry about that. He the teacher was subsequently sacked from Wilson Student Hospital School for gross misconduct in January 2023. Last year, Judge Owens upheld the school's decision to suspend Burke, citing his challenging behavior towards the principal during a staff meeting, chapel service, and dinner. Burke insisted he did not force his beliefs on anyone, claiming instead that transgender ideology was being forced on him. Under, I could do this. Under the new ruling, if Burke breaches the injunction when the school reopens in January, the court will involve the Attorney General and Department of Finance. The judge specified they would need to determine a mechanism to directly use Burke's salary to pay the daily $1,400 euro fine. Justice Michael Quinn had previously noted that there was an urgent requirement to address the difficulties at Wilson's Hospital School was experiencing due to Burke's presence. The judge stated Burke was disrupting day-to-day operations and activities and duties performed by teachers and staff at the school. Well, I don't think the man should go to jail because he refused to use pronouns. I think that if it was in his contract when he was hired in the school that he had to do these things, and I think that if he refused to do what they asked, then he should have resigned and just went to another school and found employment elsewhere. Now that's my personal thing, but no, I don't think he should have been to prison for that, and I don't think he should be fined for that. That's just where I stand on it. I don't know what y'all think. Now, this is another one. This all over in Europe. Court of Appeals orders greater oversight as teenager blocked from being given irreversible hormone therapy. Based just on that topic, you shouldn't be allowed to do anything unless you're 18 and over. Kids change all the time. They don't know what they want. When you get 18, oh shoot, he was live. Oh wow. Oh shoot. See, he's still alive. Oh wow. Oh, I missed his live. I didn't even see that. So no, I don't think that you should have that choice until you 18. The groundbreak. Oh, okay. Hold on. Let's get into it. The groundbreaking decision has been seen as a shift in how the courts weigh up whether a 16-year-old is competent to make their own decision on gender changing hormones. Hell no. Mm-mm. You can't make that decision without parent consent. I'm sorry. The Court of Appeals has ruled that more scrutiny must be given before a 16-year-old child can have private gender treatment because you're cutting off something. No, you 18, you can, that's your decision. The ruling states the child can only seek cross-sex hormone treatment under careful doctor care and NHS oversight. The case marks a significant shift in how court view medical interventions for young people seeking cross-sex hormones. Let me do this. This is done. And now we're doing this. Okay, we've done that. Okay, and then we have to do this. Okay. The case centers on a mother's battle to prevent her teenage daughter, referred to as Q for legal reasons, from being given powerful, potentially irreversible hormone therapy at a private clinic known as Gender Plus. Despite the young person's intelligence, age, and lack of any diagnosed mental health problems, the court found that the matter was too serious and complex to be left to the clinician discretion alone. I agree. No, you can't. No. Instead, it stressed that further scrutiny is necessary to ensure the treatment serves the child's best interest. Today's judgment has left me feeling hopeful for my daughter's future, the mother said in a statement of the ruling. I am so pleased that the court has carefully considered the evidence and made the best possible decision for her safety and for the safety of all children who are struggling with their identity as long as they go through puberty. The mother, who has fought a 2-year legal and emotional battle, expressed relief. I miss my daughter horribly and can only hope that one day she will realize how very hard her mom has worked to keep her here. There is still a long way to go before all children are safe, but the tide has turned. The Court of Appeals judgment. Hey, come up here. I want you to come up here. You missed the first topic. This mother went to court to stop. They wanted to give her daughter gender hormone therapy irreversible. We talked about trans issues. Hold on. I didn't even see that you was live. You should have called me. I don't read my text like that. I don't read my text like that. I'm sorry I missed it. Okay, there it go. So let me finish this article. Okay, the Court of Appeals judgment has seen a shift in how the courts weigh up whether a 16-year-old is competent to make their own decisions on gender change and hormones. No, they cannot make their own decision, not at all. This is especially the case because medical reports have stated the child is bright, physically healthy, and has no underlying mental health issues. Historically, medical disputes have either involved critically ill children or those with severe mental health conditions. Paul Controve, senior consultant solicitor at Sinclair Shaw, who represented the mother, welcomed the decision. He said it can no longer be assumed that just because a young person is 16 years old and in good health that their decision to proceed with cross-sex hormones is the end of the matter. No, you can't make that decision. The court's concern and insistence on judicial scrutiny is a recognition of the irreversible and life-altering nature of these treatments, right? Because they irreversible. Puberty blockers are irreversible. According to Congress, the ruling aligns with the cautious approach advocated by a review by Dr. Hilary Cass, which carried out an independent examination of gender identity services for children and young people. The case review published in recent years has recommended stricter protocols and a more evidence-based approach to prescribing puberty blockers and cross-sex hormones. The private sector, often viewed as operating outside of NHS safeguards, was highlighted as especially vulnerable to failing these standards. No, a 16-year-old cannot make a decision to have sex hormone treatment, puberty blockers, and all that. The court's ruling comes amidst growing anxiety about private clinics offering gender related treatments without adhering to the rigorous guidelines and multidisciplinary mental health assessments now required within NHS. The mother's legal team argued that private entities are not being held to the same level of oversight, which can put vulnerable young people at risk. Although the court acknowledged these risks, it stopped short of mandating universal judicial approval for all private sector hormone treatments. Instead, it left such regulatory measures to the Care Quality Commission and ultimately the government. And the government shouldn't be involved in whether a person transition or not. That's the parents and the child. Knopf expressed a disappointment that the court did not extend protective measures more broadly. He said the court was asked to take a protective role and require court approval for any hormonal treatment in the private sector. It refused to offer protection, stating that this is a matter for government and regulators. No, it's not. No, it's not. The child is under 18. You don't make a decision. No. This decision follows the earlier Kiera litigation in which the courts failed to impose special protections on children considering puberty blockers, treating them as no different from other medication. However, since then, the government has imposed a ban on certain treatments and described the practices as a medical scandal. With this new judgment, the Court of Appeals set a new precedent. Even older teenagers cannot be assumed to be able to consent to irreversible treatments without eternal checks. Gender Plus has insisted it follows all the guidance outlined by the CAS review and emphasized that it's properly regulated by the healthcare regulator. Dr. Aidan Kelly, a clinical psychologist, let me add you.
Hey, what up, non? Salute.
Hey, I'm so sorry I missed your life. You should have called me.
No, don't be sorry about that. We all working. We do shows. We miss it. We do. We out. That mean
Yep,
we
I
all.
just went to church. I didn't
You
do
know.
the second job today.
Hey, look. This sound
Yeah,
like
let me
I've
finish this
always said.
article. I'm on
This
my
a
last.
form. Oh, my bad. What were
Hmm?
you saying? No, I said I think all of this is a form
I
of
just
child
got one more
abuse.
page. I'm at the end of this.
Okay.
Dr. Aidan Kelly, a clinical psychologist and director of Gender Plus, said, while we cannot comment on a specific case, we did want to offer a point of clarification which you appears to have been missed. All young people that are assessed and deemed appropriate for consideration of gender affirming hormones must then be presented at a national multidisciplinary team for review by non treating clinicians. The MDT, which includes an independent child and adolescent psychiatrist, must make the referrals prior to being accepted onto hormone treatment. The child is 16. No, they can't make that decision.
I think it's all a form of child abuse. It's a form of torture, and I think it's a criminal act to do that. Cause you fucking with their mind, body, and soul when you do that. Because even if they turn 18, you done already put their mind to where they can think they can do that, but they still not fully understanding that you can't go back on what
Right.
you're doing.
That's like Dwayne Wade
Yeah, I
and
was
his,
just about to say that. And I think that Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union, they should be locked up. I've always said it.
you know
That's child
what?
abuse.
Because what they did, you didn't even give him a choice.
Mm-hmm.
What you did, because a lot of times with celebrities or athletes, they go through, they may not do a blood sacrifice, even though I think
No, they
Dwayne Wade,
sacrificed their
but they
kid.
will sacrifice their kids, like Will Smith.
Yeah. Cause didn't Will why did nobody say nothing when Willow was in the bed with the, taking a picture in the bed with that white dude that was 25 and she was like what 13? Something like that. Nobody
I don't
said
know
nothing.
about that.
Jaden, like you can go back. It's just man, I think when he did that 6 degrees of separation film and he got them, he really got plowed. Think about it on
No,
camera.
he did. Well, he did because guess what? Quincy Jones put him on. Quincy Jones was a gatekeeper.
Yeah. And I think all of this, I think the doctors that approve it, I think the lawmakers that approve it, they're all like that and they're predators too. Because for you to even consider a law like that, that means you're like that. That means you agree. That shows you who the sick people are. I've always said that. Like, who in their right mind would do that? As a lawmaker, especially, that means that what they into. And it be men and women into that type of thing. And it's
Now,
just sick. You know what I mean?
now let me ask. So the first article I did was a teacher got fired because address he would not address use pronouns,
They tried
and
that out here in
they
Houston.
fired him. Wait, this is in Ireland. They fired him and put him in prison
That's
for
crazy.
500 days.
They tried that out
That's
here in Houston with the transgenders walking around reading in full drag. They cut that short. And then in Houston, they had this little thing where like you need to have them as a pronoun. And the teacher was like, Hell no. You're a boy, you're a girl. That's what you are. They shut that down. Houston be shutting down a lot of that. They don't let them
But
fly
this
with
is in
that.
Ireland. This is in Ireland. I'm just
But
saying.
that's how white people are. Think about Monty Python. You remember that back in the day?
I
They
sure
were
do.
promoting that.
And Benny Hill. What was his name? Benny Hill.
Yeah, they were promoting that heavy over there in the UK. And white people do that over there. So it's normal to them.
Right, but they put that man in jail. He said, "I'm a Christian. I'm not going to adjust no hormones." And they was finding him 1,400 euros a day.
Man, I just got through talking about this, but I said it a different way. I was talking about religion. And but I was basically talking, it's like them people that are into this type of thing, men or women, they be deep into it and they don't care about sacrificing children and whatever they do. They already sick in the mind. They believe in incest. So you think they give a damn about their kid? You know?
Hmm.
These people are twisted, man. That's what I'm telling you. That is child abuse. That is a form of terrorism. It's
Well,
so many levels to it.
wait till you hear this last topic. Let me read it.
Okay.
This gonna mess you up because this messed me up. Only person in Britain to have changed gender 3 times. So you
Huh?
don't know what you want to change gender 3 times. Sues NHS for refusing to carry out third sex change surgery.
That
So
person
you
should
really confused. You don't know what you want to be, and you sued them because they wouldn't do it for a third time.
I think that person should get sued back. I think they should be locked up in a mental institution until
Okay,
they
good.
figure it out because they already that's a red flag on anything when somebody's
Right,
thinking
that's
and
some
doing
type
that.
of mental illness going on.
Yeah, and then they already throwed off. Like they was snapped, just like they say the dude that did Kirk. He was sort of like whatever. I'm like, so y'all don't think this is sickness in their mind? Like they could do worse. Cause if they doing that to their own body, what do you think they're gonna do to somebody else? And then most times out of
Well,
10, they're gonna
we're
take
not
your
talking
kids.
about Kurt, but he was messing with a transgender. But let me go ahead.
No,
The
but I
only
was putting a correlation between how they tried to throw that in there with who did that. That's why I was saying people that do that and then they try to throw LGBT in there. So that's what I'm saying. Like
okay, let me get
they
finished the article.
okay, bet.
Yeah. The only person in the UK to have changed gender 3 times has sued the NHS for refusing to carry out a third sex change surgery. Lady Samantha Kane, who goes by Lady Carbisdale, was born male and initially had surgery in 1997 to become Samantha before
Mm-mm.
having before having it reversed to become Charles in 2004. You can't make this shit up. I'm
Man,
gonna
this is the shit I'm talking about. I'm
I'm
like,
gonna
that
read this
is a
again.
red flag right there.
Okay,
Something wrong with that person.
I'm
But
gonna
how
read
do
this
you
one.
reverse it? First of all,
I Well, I mean, you can just make it have a false one, I guess. But now, was born male and had surgery in '97 to become Samantha before having it reversed to become Charles in 2004. If that is not the most insane, and then you get mad and soon because now you want to go back to Samantha.
you can't sue nobody for you being crazy.
Now, wait, let me get it. She said she was refused a third sex change by the University
I
College
don't call
London
them she.
Hospital. I'm reading the article. College London Hospital, prompting her to get a private procedure in Serbia in 2017, which was botched. I guess it was. You done had to. Kane claimed
First
that
of
the
all, you had the first one.
right.
You already gone. Like what?
Kane claimed that the NHS then refused to treat her after the Serbian procedure reportedly left infected surgical devices in her. Oh, this is the picture.
See, that's what I be talking about. And they be questioning people.
And
Look
this
at them
has
people. That's that
now
Monty Python shit.
UCLH finally agreed UCLH finally agreed to help her in 2021, she said. In a legal claim, the 64-year-old, who is a trained
Sure.
barrister, said the refusal to provide treatment related to the third gender reassignment amounted to negligence, discrimination, and a breach of human rights. You can't make this up.
They didn't want to
Representing
do it the first time.
Representing herself at pretrial hearing last week, Kane told High Court Judge Deputy Master Ruth Fine that she was suing UCLH partly for the negligence of causing me to seek surgery in Serbia rather than here. They ain't tell you to go to Serbia
They
because
didn't
they
tell
wouldn't do
you
it a
to do
third
it.
time.
Look, they already knew you was a risk the first time because it's already insane to even do that.
She blamed the NHS trust negligence for causing her bot surgery. She stated it was negligent of the defendant not to treat me in 2017. The defendants are the only people who are qualified to provide this treatment in the UK.
How
They
the
treat
hell?
they treat everybody else, then discriminate against me. Bitch, you had two surgeries already. You went from male to female, then back from female to male.
Which is madness. The first surgery was already madness. Like, this is the shit I be talking about. These people literally have lost their mind. Anybody that will sit up and listen to that apparently sympathize with that. That means they agree with that type of thing. And I'm like, that's the people that's sitting up judging. That's not normal. You know that's not normal. But you want to lock me up for weed?
Right, right.
That right there is like a red flag on top of red flag. And people like that, they will actually get those type of people adopted kids, knowing that they done did all that. That's mental. You know what I mean?
Yep. Let me finish. The second part of her claim relates to allegations that UCLH would not correct the botch operation, advising her to return to Serbia to get help there instead. Right? Why they gonna correct it? They didn't tell you to go to Serbia. You supposed to go back to them, right?
Go back to who did it.
Right. She said they were the people qualified to treat me and they refused. This was discrimination against me because I made a previous complaint. Right. She then told the judge it was foreseeable that she would go to Serbia after being refused an operation by NHS. Kane is claiming 162,000 euros, but said the case was not so much about money, but rather about achieving justice. Bitch, you crazy.
And what insurance is co-signing that?
This is in the UK. I had no idea.
No, but my
Sam Berg,
point is insurance should not even be involved in nothing like that.
well, guess what? They set a trial. date for later. I gotta keep up with this. I'm gonna
Yeah,
have
you
to
got to
let
keep
me
up
see.
with that, man. That's exactly what I be talking about, man. These
Let me
people are
see this.
mental.
She had. I'm about to look it up now.
These people are mental. And then look, people like that, they give foster kids to these people. You see cases when these people be like that, and they give them foster kids. Like, why would you give a
Right,
foster?
like that white couple. I did that. I did that
Oh
video
yeah, I remember you
in
telling.
Atlanta, and then they pimped them out.
Yeah,
Two brothers.
yeah, man. But this is what they give you kids to. They revolving circle of torment on kids. They're attacking kids left and right. When you think about it,
Oh, they gonna have it this year. Let me see. The trial is the response to recommendation. Let me see.
this is a form of attack on kids. Just like I said, wars are fought different. This is another war on kids,
Well, this
and
person's 64 years old.
that that's somebody granddaddy.
Oh, grandmama.
Ain't no damn grandmama. I don't call them him. If you were born a boy, you a man. I don't call no him, no her, no her, no him. That's just me. I'm not addressing you as you think I'm gonna call my sister Mister or my brother her if they did something like that. Hell no, man. You better go on with that. I'm like, that's your choice. I ain't in that, but don't expect me. They tried that pronoun thing out here in Houston, and they shut that down. The teachers was like, hell
Oh,
no.
they did.
Yeah, about a year and a half ago, they tried to get the teacher to address them as him or her. And I'm like, what? It was weird. They shut that down so quick out here in Houston. Houston do not play that game right here. You know what I mean?
All right, let's get into this video. Let's talk about this video. Hold on.
And I want to bring in transgender activist and author Raquel Willis for more. Raquel, Congresswoman Mace says she is a rape survivor and that she knows how vulnerable women and girls are in private spaces. So thank you for coming on and talking about this, because she says she's not going to stand for someone with a penis in the women's locker room. That's not okay. Those are her words. What's your response to that?
Already.
Well, my response would be, obviously we have to take seriously people's experience with being a survivor, being a survivor of sexual assault in particular. But a lot of trans people actually have experienced sexual assault, particularly trans women. I have also been sexually assaulted and harassed. So I think that it's really sad and disappointing that she is weaponizing the experiences of survivors to be bigoted and to be discriminatory against someone who's going to be her colleague, whether she likes it or not. The other thing that came to mind for me when I heard about the that she was bringing to our government, I hear...
Huh?
Did you hear how that nigga was talking?
You say what?
Did you hear how that nigga was talking? We're
Right.
gonna be
Yeah,
a
so the
colleague
subject I
or
just
not. Did you hear that part? When that nigga said you're gonna
Yep,
be
I heard that part.
a colleague or not. Whether you want it or not, we're gonna
You
be
still,
there.
I'm gonna
The
be your
nerve of these
colleague.
niggas. The nerve of these niggas. Your sexuality has nothing to do with this. You're a man. Deal with it. The hell
So
wrong with you?
what you think? So what you think about trans in the bathroom?
They need to go in the men's bathroom. That's what you were born as. I don't give a
I
damn
think
what kind of stuff.
if you still got your genitals, maybe if you don't have it, I mean, because you ain't got nothing down there, you go
I
into the
don't
women's
give a
bath because you.
damn if you were born as a You go in the men's bathroom. That's just that simple. You already lost your goddamn mind if you got it cut off or not. You're a man.
Oh, guess what
You're
I
not
just
supposed to
found?
go in no woman's bathroom. What you found, girl?
I just found that teacher I was talking about. This is the teacher that went to prison. I had a video. I didn't know that. Here it is.
Okay.
You're arresting him. To tell students you they need to tell puberty blockers. You're arresting him because he won't turn orange for young people. Great.
You're at Wilson's Hospital School. Senior clerk, teacher, being arrested for not accepting transgenderism.
And I'm not going to turn my back on my duty to my students. No, you don't have a duty to do what's wrong. No, to bring me before the court.
Even though
To bring me before the court.
inside those gates.
To bring me before the court.
There's abuse.
This is a
Puberty
disgrace.
blockers.
Children are being
Puberty
exposed.
blockers.
It's
Children
a young
getting
boy.
suicide.
Yes, surgery, mutilation.
Yes.
Mutilation.
It's a suicide.
Mutilation.
It's an absolute disgrace.
Mutilation. An absolute disgrace. You're telling a boy
Puberty
that
blockers.
he's gender neutral. Yeah, that he has to take chemicals. That he has to
He
take
has broken no law.
That
He has broken no law.
That
There's no that or that.
That he has to
He has
take
broken no
chemicals.
law. He has broken no law.
Shame upon you.
You have no right.
Shame upon you, Gardy. Shame upon you.
No right to do what you're doing.
This is an innocent teacher, a Christian man.
Broken no law.
Shame upon you, Gardy Shiakona.
Bert has broken no law. He has broken no law.
I have a right to my job. I have a right to work here.
He has a right.
I have a right to be here.
You're arresting
not
him.
to tell students
You
they
won't
need to tell
puberty
puberty
blockers.
blockers.
You're arresting him because he won't turn orange for young
Great.
Shame upon you,
You
Gardy.
know what's crazy? They showing how they government.
Look, watch them drive away with them.
So you've just seen what happened there. We're here at Wilson's Hospital School in County Farnham, County Westmeath. Enoch Burke just thrown in the back of a Garda van, locked up, taken away from his place of work. He was demanded of him that he accept, that he endorse transgenderism. But today, he said, and he's been taken away in a Garda van.
Now, Enoch Berg didn't appear in court on Friday. I was there with Amy, my daughter, and of course we were removed from the court at the end for simply
You
asking
know,
Justice
they
Barry
exposing
O'Donnell,
themselves
did
right
he
now.
compare children?
These sick people are exposing themselves right now.
This
What
this in the UK too. This is in
No.
the UK too.
But I'm telling you how these white folks get down. They've been doing it since the beginning of time. And them laws, I always told people it's a lot of laws they never took off the books that they digging up. Who in their right mind would sit up and co-sign that? That's one thing I do like about Houston. They shut all that down when they were trying to get the
Well,
teachers
you know,
to
it's
go
a
out to
red state. Houston, a Democratic city, but it's a red state.
Yeah, but they don't play that out here. They shut that down when the drag queen, and then when Fox had this dude up there, they had the Mr. Potato Head daughter, interchangeable parts. It was transgender. They were going with Target. They already had it packaged up. I was inboxing Fox 26 on Facebook. I'm like, what y'all doing? They cut that short. It was more than me doing it. It was a lot of people like, what the hell y'all doing? They cut that short. You can probably find it, but they cut it real short. Just like when the transgender tried to go in full drag and read the kids, they cut that short. When they tried to get them teachers to say, address students as pronouns, they cut that short. They ain't having that out here.
I'm trying to find what happened to the man lady who was on her third surgery. That mean you is
First of
good too.
all, I'm surprised that person is not out of here with that many surgeries doing that. I'm telling you, like literally, how are you surviving this?
I don't know.
That's a
We're gonna look at one more video and call it today because I'll be coming back to this as I
okay.
find
And that,
stuff.
of course, thank you for having me on your show. You know,
After
Okay.
the first ever transgender woman was elected to Congress. Sarah McBride is the representative for Delaware and is a biological man. Her election has some in Washington very
I
concerned
hate when they
about the
call them
bathrooms
her.
that she will be using. That Representative Nancy Mace introduced a bathroom bill to stop biological men from using women's bathrooms and locker rooms.
And allow biological men into women's private spaces. I will stand in the brink and stand in the way of anyone on the radical left who thinks that it's okay for a penis to be in a women's locker room or a bathroom or a changing room. Hell no. I'm not going to stand for it. And the speaker said it'll be in the House rules package. If it's not, I'll be ready with a motion, a privileged motion to force a vote on this. This is not okay.
Nancy Mace doubled down on this, saying she is protecting the rights of women and girls.
The radical left is calling me an extremist for being a feminist, fighting to protect the rights of
How
women.
the hell
and
you a
girls.
feminist
If
and
being
you're
a
a man?
feminist makes me an extremist or a monster, I am totally here.
No, she's against it. She don't want her in the bathroom.
Oh
She
yeah.
introduced the bill, not for
No,
her.
but I'm
Yeah, that's
saying.
what this is the Congress. Yeah.
Woman in every little
Oh,
world
okay.
across this country to protect you.
And she returned to the press to slam the radical left for their attempt to erase women.
Not be in the locker room, should not be in changing rooms, should not be in our restrooms either. And I'm
It's
going to be
not a
standing in the ring,
woman.
standing in his stop this.
No, this is the one
No,
fighting
I'm
it.
talking about what she's saying is not a woman. That's the whole point.
Women, it's right, so I'm not going to let them.
But not everyone in Washington, D.C. is so brave to tell the truth. Speaker Mike Johnson continued the woke rhetoric, refusing to say whether Sarah McBride is a man or a woman.
This is ridiculous. Is freshman-elect Sarah McBride a man or a woman?
Look, I'm not going to.
Why is that even a
We welcome
discussion?
all new members to duly elected representatives of the people. I believe it's a command. We treat all.
Why is this shit? Hey, why
About this.
is this a discussion though?
Uses of restroom facilities.
Goddamn man.
This is you, the Congress never had to address before. We're going to do it fashion with member consensus on it. And we
He
will-
said this is an issue Congress ain't never had to address before.
He finally come out and clarified his
What you,
position.
that goes back to what I was saying when these Europeans were making these laws. They was on that type of time, and they forgot that they didn't erase them laws. That's what I'm telling you. You get it?
My well-established record on this issue, let me be unequivocally clear.
This goes exactly back to what I was
A
saying.
woman is a woman. Become a woman. That said, I also believe that's what Scripture teaches, what I just said. But I also believe that we treat everybody with dignity, and so we can do and believe all those things at the same time. And I wanted to make that clear for everybody because there's lots of questions. But that's where I stand. I've stood there my whole life, and those are facts.
Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene doubled down on this, saying that Nancy Mace's resolution doesn't go far enough.
Sarah McBride, as he calls himself, formerly Tim McBride, is a biological man, and he should not be using any of our restrooms.
Exactly.
In
In your words.
But Nancy Mace's resolution doesn't go far enough. A resolution is just a statement by Congress saying that Congress disagrees with something. We need something more binding, and that's what I just brought up at the microphones there in our conference, is I directly asked Speaker Johnson what the men in our leadership are going to do about this, because this has to be stopped. America gave a mandate at this election and said Not only are they sick of the open borders, the invasion, the out of control inflation, foreign wars, but they're sick of the trans ideology being shoved down our throats. And it's an attack on women and children all over the country. I don't think Nancy Mace's resolution does enough. I think we need to do more. That's why
I agree.
I'm glad they standing up
Because
for
it's an
that.
agenda. It's an agenda for depopulation. Now, my thing
I've been
is,
saying
if,
that
if
I've
you
been
gay,
saying that for over a decade online.
but it's a
Told
depopulation
you,
agenda.
gender.
If you gay and you got the right to do whatever, but when you start transgressing on my rights of who I am, then that's the problem.
You were born a man. You're not supposed to be in no damn women's bathroom at all. That's your personal decision to do what you did. You still a goddamn man. Miss me with that. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Because it's sick, first of all. I'm like, you're a whole man trying to be a woman. That's mental. And then it's sicker for more people like Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union that act like that and put that in their kid head that you can be whatever you want to be. And you may have these feelings like you want to be a boy or a girl. No, you're a goddamn boy. You're a girl. Like, look, you got a life to live. You decide that later on in life. Ain't no coming back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that where is CPS when you need them? Because it's clearly a mental issue. It's clearly child abuse. It's a lot of charges on there, but they won't do it. Because them sick motherfuckers in government, them English laws, they had that actually as a law. And they forgot that they made it a law, but they didn't. But now it's backfiring on them, if that makes sense what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Cause think about it, through the early 80s and shit, Monty Python over there in the UK, that's all they did. Benny Hill, all them. Like, them people are sick. And then for that teacher to get locked up for not addressing a student as a her when it's a him, I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. You're a boy. You're a young man. I'm not doing that. Which is crazy within itself that you even have to be in that position to even say that. You know? Am I missing something here?
No, you ain't missing nothing.
I'll be damned. They cut that so short here in Houston when they tried that out here. They cut that so short, you missed it. You can look it up in Houston when they were trying to do that. Houston cut that short so quick. Anything that got to do with trans and LGBT, y'all can go do y'all parties or whatever, but nah, y'all not gonna do that. You know what I mean? Y'all, you take your ass in the bathroom, stand up and pee like you supposed to. If you want to squat, that's on you. But you're a man. You're not going to no woman's bathroom, dog. You feel me?
Right. Yep. So we're gonna go ahead
But
and
it's
get off.
okay.
You got your final thought?
Okay. My final thoughts is people have common sense. Protect our kids from people like that. And they in the schools, they're in government, they're teachers, they're police officers, they're everything. People understand and pay attention to who your kids are around. They in church, they in everything, they everywhere, and people have those kind of thoughts, and it's up to you to protect your kids because the ultimate goal is to attack the kid's mind because they start at a young age attacking their mind, and them kids don't know if that's a man or a woman. Some of them do. They be like, "Ain't you a man?" You know, when they ask questions like that, it's gonna get to the point where, like, it's gonna be a charge to where somebody gonna try to take a kid to court for action. Ain't you a man?
Right.
You know
I
how
can
kids
see
have.
that happening.
You can see that happening, right?
The way we going down this line. Hmm.
Yeah. But thank you for
Just
having me on
because
your show.
just
As
because a
always.
kid is inquisitive and they ask a question.
Yeah. So you see the way that's going, right? They're gonna be suing kids in court for asking them if they're a man. No, you address me as her.
But
I'm
I
not
think
calling no man,
but the
but
point that need to be addressed, this is a depopulation agenda. And that's the point
yeah,
that most people miss. It's the agenda. If
I've
not,
always said it's a depopulation agenda. I've been
it's
saying
not
that.
about
I've been saying this since I was little, because when I used to see like the Benny Hills and the Monty Pythons in the 80s, I was like, that's a man. RuPaul, and I'm like, that's a man. Why are they doing that? Flip Wilson dressed up like Geraldine. I'm like, why are they doing that? That's not funny to me. I didn't understand
well,
what's so
back in the 70s, we really didn't know what was really going on in Hollywood back then, you know.
man.
But
I was a little kid in the 80s looking at that like, why is a man in a dress? It's real simple. And I didn't find it funny. I never found it funny. I'm like, why are you doing that? You can get a woman to play that part, right?
you know, well, like, share, subscribe, hit the like button, leave a comment. I'm
And
coming
thank you
back
for
with
having me on your show as usual.
Yep,
Salute
I'm
to
coming
you.
back with Jay-Z and I'm done for the night. All
Okay,
right.
thank you for having me on the show
Thank you. All right.
already.
And I'm sorry again I missed it. You should have just called
No,
me.
hey, look, no, don't, no. We both doing what we do at the same time. Ain't no, we always can go back and look at it. There ain't nothing to it. Ain't nothing to it, you know. But I'm gonna catch you on the next one. Okay.
All right, I'm coming back with Jay-Z. All right, have a good one. And you
All
can
right.
come back in there if you want to. But yeah, all right. Give me a few minutes though. All
Okay.
right, y'all. Like, share, and